What's up guys, welcome back to the Global Reaction channel. So guys, in today's video is a combination of video. It's about that Asian lady. She went viral lecturing the Jamaicans. Number one, she was talking about Jamaican accent is not an African dialect. Number two, she was also talking about Jamaican's patois language is originated from the Irish. Then number three, she was talking about all the black people who wants to come to Jamaica must have a visa. So guys, in today's video is also majority of Africans, majority of Jamaicans, they have really come out and really sent a feedback to her. So guys, let's all watch this video until the end, then I come back with more comment. Remember to subscribe, like, and also comment and give this video a thumbs up.
Ministry of Education, I have a bone to pick with you. Why are so many Jamaicans ignorant of their own history? Why so much dunce people in my comment section? Oh my God, people, stop it. The Jamaican accent is not an African dialect. The Jamaican accent, like everything associated with modern Jamaican heritage, is in fact the byproduct of the cultural melting pot that our motto embraces. In fact, in terms of cadence, it's most similar to an Irish accent.
I've been shook enough now, to be honest, since the racing is a bit tired now and the legs are like jelly, but yeah, I suppose we did a bit of celebrating and did the podium thing and got to put on the podium pants as well.
You see, as early as 1656, Oliver Cromwell ordered 2,000 Irish children to be taken to Jamaica and sold to English settlers. The extent of Irish immigration to Jamaica was so prolific in the centuries to follow that 25% of Jamaican citizens can claim Irish ancestry. And this includes Bob Marley and Marcus Garvey. So if you never know, now you know. Again, out of many, one people. My fellow Jamaicans, me come for drink milk, but be there cocoa. It is abundantly clear to me that there are people who live foreign and identify as Jamaicans, but you don't have one of these. And while you're entitled to your opinion, one is a set of rascal dunce. So let me set the record straight. Number one, Jamaica is not an African nation. It's not a black country. We identify as an ethnically diverse society. People, please just stop it. Out of many, one people, Jamaicans. We do not hyphenate and we do not encourage separation by race. Number two, this one's mine. This is my granny own. This one is my mom's. And this is grandpa. Yeah, it's hardcover. Grandpa died a long time ago. If you are planning a trip to Jamaica and you don't own one of these, you're going to have to book a return flight from where you came. These are the rules. I'm just laying it down for you. If you go to Jamaica and you don't have one of these, immigration will stamp your passport and give you a set amount of time that you're allowed to stay in Jamaica. And if you overstay your welcome, we put you back on a plane and we send you back. You, not me, you back to the from which you came.
Chinese Jamaican women
Now,
is teaching Jamaican descendants their history.
Have comprehension issues, so we're going to try this again. There is a fundamental difference between Chinese laborers that were brought to Jamaica in the 1800s as indentured laborers and Chinese corporations linked to the People's Republic of China that is a communist government. So over here, we have these people and they don't like these people, but they're the same people technically. So these people move from Yasso and come over Yasso with these people here. All right? These people soon come back. Now, when these people arrive, there are these people. As you can see, there's plenty Coca-Cola. We have ginger beer, Inca Cola, and orange cola. All right? Now, at first, these people didn't get along because they are separated by culture and language. But eventually, these people started to understand each other. And they're like, one day, hey, let's run a boat. So then these people brought their ingredients to the pot. And these people took from their culture and put their ingredients into the pot. This is out of many sodas, one stew. Why are so many Jamaicans ignorant of their own history?
Why do people from other races always want to be the historian for black people? Mama, you hear me? Leave Jamaican black people history alone. Tell us about your Chinese history in Jamaica. See me? Tell us why your family left your massive country of 3.7 million square miles to come live in a country that is just over 4,000 square miles, to set up shop in poor communities to live off of black people. Tell us why. Give us the blood-clad history on that. You all have made your riches and your wealth from these poor black people. No. Tell me something good that you've given back to these poor black people. Tell me something great that you've done for these poor communities. You've been in Jamaica for centuries, living off poor black people. Without black people, you would be nothing. Some of these stupid poor people neglect buying from their own people just to come and support you and your family at your store. Yet still, most of you don't have a black friend. See me? The most black people you guys speak to are the ones that you employ, and you watch them like a hawk to see if they're gonna steal from you. You will never see Mr. Chin and his family at any community functions. See me? Because them not deal with black people. You see me? You will never see Mr. Chin's son chilling out at a dance with him black friends, because him not have black friends. You'll never see Mr. Chin's daughter at a party with her black friends, because she not keep black friends. You understand? So much for this blood-clad idiot matter out of many one bomber-clad people. No, part of the Chinese culture and history is that they eat dogs, they eat cats, they eat worms, they eat roaches, and they eat lizards. I remember growing up in Kingston. When black people dogs would come up missing, they would blame the Chinese. See? And they would tell us not to go buy lunch from the Chinese restaurants because the Chinese put dog meat in their patties. You see me? I remember seeing a picture in the newspaper that was taken at the back of a Chinese restaurant, and it had dog parts on it.
A number of people have tagged me in a video with this woman talking about, you know, Jamaicans, they are foreign attack, this and that, and if you don't have a Jamaican passport, you are not Jamaican. Listen, I'm gonna do an in-depth video on my YouTube channel, but let me just say this for now. A whole lot of y'all were in my comments defending this woman when she said we are a bunch of dunce. Like on love to do with light bright people, a bunch of on a run come to come rescue her because she is only talking about the accent. It was never about the accent, and with every other video she's making it very clear, it's not about the accent. It's always been about erasing our African identity, because if we cling to our African identity, then we disrupt this picture of the racial harmony that they want to create. And without this picture of the racial harmony, then they feel that their positions of power at the top of the social hierarchy is threatened. So now she feels emboldened to tell y'all who is Jamaican and who isn't. I'm not gonna stitch any more of that content or say anything more about it, because it looks like she's posting through other people, and I personally want to address her directly. So I'm not gonna stitch any more of that content, because if she's hiding her identity, then you can't confront her. So it's a waste of time. She's just seeking attention. Anyway, in the same way, I will not be schooled about what my language is or what my identity is. I'm not going to be schooled by any light bright about who I am or whether or not I'm Jamaican. Y'all are going to have to sit with the fact that someone whose ancestors came to Jamaica for economic benefit is able to tell the descendants of the people whose blood was shed for the freedom of this country that they are not Jamaicans.
So there's a video going around of what appears to be a Chinese Jamaican woman really coming for black African people from Jamaica, particularly those of us who live a foreign, yeah, in relation to issues of blackness, Africanness, and the possession of a passport or lack thereof. People are sending me this video and ask me what I have to say about it. And the reality is, I have nothing to say to she. Any non-African person from Jamaica or anywhere else in the world that has a problem with Africans from Jamaica, yard or foreign, asserting our Africanness and our blackness, that a feeding problem. This is not something that we should feel the need to justify, apologize for, or even explain, especially when you consider the colonial and neo-colonial experience of African Jamaicans and how that results in the migration of African Jamaicans, as well as the extent to which the colonizer attempted to sever us from a sense of heritage and a sense of culture. That alone tell you everything what you need to know about the mentality of the smaddy will make that the video there. So I have nothing more to say about that except to affirm the teaching of Marcus Mosiah Garvey when Africans of his time were being challenged in relation to our affirmation and assertion of racial and cultural pride. Let contrary sentiments and cross opinions go to the winds. We are entitled to our own opinions and not obligated or bound by the opinions of others. Awo. Having said that, I was listening to Running African, hosted by Sister Kabo Ma'at Keru Wadeya, and she featured a story on some events and conversations that were taking place in Jamaica on this issue. Take a listen.
You notice that there's a big conversation going on here in Jamaica right now about Mark Golding and whether or not he's black or white. And you heard a response, well, you know, we have all kinds of people, because out of the motto is out of many one. So this is what we're hearing now, right? That, we have Chinese Jamaican, we have Indian Jamaican, and so on. And the person who was speaking, I think it might have been Mr. Morgan himself, you know, called out every other race Jamaican apart from African Jamaican. That in itself was telling.
So it does seem, yes, that the African Jamaicans' assertion and affirmation of our Africanness does seem to make some people very, very uncomfortable. And we should be aware of this and what agenda it serves. But beyond that, make we assert with Africanness and with blackness without fear or favor. And not make nobody make you feel shame or make you feel like you do them something wrong when you assert your blackness and your Africanness. Our heritage and our culture cannot be bound by a passport and cannot be dictated to us by anybody other than ourselves if we are guided by the principle of self-determination.
So you think you're English? You think you're Anglo-Saxon? I wish some of you would go to England and say some of these things to these white people, because they'll quickly put you in your place and tell you to go back to Africa. You are the only ones who don't know where you're from, and it's really sad. Yes, you speak Patois. What do you think Patois is made up of? A lot of it is African words. And if you really want to know what tribes we came from, it's so easy. Just look at the language that we speak, which is Patois. A lot of the words are from the Ashanti tribe. I'm just surprised that a lot of Jamaicans don't know these things. You know, it's basic history, really. But it just shows you how much the education system has failed us, because we don't know ourselves. Most Jamaicans struggle with English. In fact, not just Jamaicans. Most black people in the West who speak the language of their colonizers struggle with the language. That's why you end up with Creole and Patois. We have to mix up the African in there to express ourselves. English is not ours. It belongs to another group of people. Languages are born out of a culture. English didn't come from us. There are so many simple things that tell us who we are. There's so much African retention around us, including the fact that we speak patois. It's not rocket science. And it's just shameful to see this display of ignorance on social media. I'm so tired of this narrative. It is simply not true. And I don't know where it started. I don't know who is trying to create this propaganda that Africans don't accept us in the diaspora. It is not true. A great majority of them love us and embrace us and want us to come over there and connect with them. Sure, you have a few that may be saying, oh, you know, don't come over here. But I mean, it's one and two, and most of them are just not in their right minds. Just like you have piece of shit Jamaicans, but I'm not going around and saying, oh, Jamaica is hell because you have a few people who aren't very nice. Check the comment section of the last video that I posted. It is full of comments from the continent, all over the continent. Even on Instagram, I have 50k followers on Instagram. About 90% of them are Africans. Africans love us, especially Jamaicans. Okay, maybe they don't like Black Americans so much, right? You can understand, you know, I love my Black American brothers and sisters, but y'all are hard to deal with sometimes, especially when you come to other places where other African people are. You know, you come with your entitlement, you come with your attitude, you come with your complaining. Like, it's very difficult to deal with y'all because you're American, you know, and that's just the truth. But we love in the same way, you know, but it's just hard to deal with. But Africans love Jamaicans. They love Jamaicans. Ghana, they act just like us. They actually act like us. That's how much they love us. Come on. And the rest of Ethiopia.
Hello guys, welcome back. Let's see your thoughts. Let's comment. Let's interact more in comment section. Do you really support this message from this Asian lady that Jamaican accent is not an Africa dialect? Also, do you really support her by saying that Jamaican patois language is origin from the Irish? Or do you support her by telling that all the black people who are supposed to come to Jamaica must have a visa? So guys, I hope you have watched and enjoyed that full clip of this Asian lady. She's really trying to lecture the Ministry of Education about the Jamaica. And I know when you mess with Jamaicans, Jamaica will really come and also mess with you. And that's how this lady, she has received a lot of feedback from the Jamaicans. Number one, let's talk about the Irish patois language. We all know that patois language has the deep root from the African roots, because in the patois language it's also the mixture of language, but when you deep in, it has the deep root from Africa. That language, it has the mixture of the Twi language inside that, the mixture of the Yoruba language inside that, the mixture of the Ikibo language in that patois language. So it has the deep root in Africa. You cannot erase Africa from the Jamaica. Number two, let's talk about what I can say it, the visa and whatever. Africa and Jamaicans are brothers and sisters. Africa normally view Jamaica as our child abroad, and in fact Caribbean are the child of Africa abroad. And Africa being the motherland of the black people, all people are welcome here in Africa. You cannot come here and dictators telling us that we must have a visa so that we can travel to Jamaica. In fact, we are championing to have the direct flight from here, Africa, to Jamaica, so that we can access our children abroad very easy. But this kind of ignorance from the Western country coming up and also lecturing that we must have a visa. Those Western countries must have a visa to come to Jamaica, but with the black people, we must go and see our children abroad. And then This Africa and Jamaica has the strong relationship long time ago, because Caribbean countries, Caribbean people, Jamaica mostly were taken here in Africa, in Ghana, in Nigeria, through slavery, through the transatlantic trade, and they were taken out by the colonizers to go and work in their plantation. And when they reach in Caribbean, and that's how we find those black people in that area. We can find now the Jamaicans coming out. So these two countries, they really share the common culture. So this lady telling the African that we are copying a Jamaican accent is not the African dialect. We are same. This is the same mother, same father. So we must do what Jamaicans are doing, and Jamaica must do what Africa are doing, because these two countries, they are twin sister and twin brothers. Because when you deep in, Jamaicans, they have been played a big role in influence here in Africa. When we started with number one, when I started with Marcus Garvey came out and he influenced Jamaica independent to freedom. That's why you find the likes of Kwame Nkrumah, Nelson Mandela, they really came out and followed the Marcus Garvey and to regain the full independence. Number two, Jamaica gave Africa the Usain Bolt, the fastest man in earth. Imagine the small island that can produce the fastest man in earth. That is the Usain Bolt, and this has also transformed to Africa. When you go to Jamaica, you will find the Usain Bolt, the short and sprinters, those track and field. When you come to Africa, you will find the long distance Maradona. That's why we have the Kipchoge Keino, we have the Eliud Kipchoge, we have those, the Faith Cherotich, those long runners. That shows that Africa and Jamaica, they are the brothers and sisters. And also, these Chinese, they came to Jamaica, and that's why I normally say that these Chinese, they are so ignorant so much, because the prime minister, the government of Jamaica has given the priorities to the Chinese over the Jamaicans. That's why these Chinese, they are so ignorant, and these Asians, they are so ignorant because they have the backup of the prime minister. And that's why I normally say that provide they are doing the good work in Jamaica, but they have so ignorance. Coming out and lectures is not the good. In fact, she's talking in Jamaica, and when you find a black person maybe going those country and starting talking like this, she or he might be deported immediately. But here in Africa, here in Jamaica, we just watch it. So guys, let's interact more in comment section. How do you really view this message from this Asian lady? Bye for now. See you next. If you haven't subscribed in this global channel, please remember to subscribe, remember to like, remember to share, remember to give this video a thumbs up.